Maggot here. And this is week 11, not week 12. Hold on. Just editing the title name. Yeah, the other one too, because that one says 10. And week 10 was a bye week. Let's do that again. Anyways, we're facing the Falcons. They don't have a deep team by any means, but they have D Ford, so they might line up offsides on a big play. Too soon, Chiefs fans? Alright. Saquon's almost at 1,900 yards already. Holy shit.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we start week 11 of the NFL season with a good one here between the Toronto Mounties and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's play.
They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted.
That was quick.
Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
Leopard! No, check! Patriot!
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley.
He's now over 19,000 yards for the season.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Yikes.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number.
Detroit!
20 points
Detroit!
scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout.
All right,
And that
gets
means
a
your
stride
offense has
goal.
to keep pace.
They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to
Yeah.
Under pressure, down he
Well,
goes.
square was open after I get hit.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And his kick is good. And that'll make it
where's that
3-0 here in the first. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get him the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road, you're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A gain of 6 there on first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? The freshest guys. Coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Dalton on the right side. It's Hilton with a catch. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love
forget
the
it, you need to
phrase,
hit,
if
and
it
then we
ended
get a
today.
first down.
And I'll guarantee
Probably
you,
more.
that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Formation fake. They'll look to throw.
And
Falcons get
couldn't
there.
get him
The
open in time.
Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Damn.
Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
Just trying to
Detroit!
streaks, guys.
Back to throw here. And he gets it to
There we
Funches
go.
complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They convert on third with a gain of 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. Space to run past the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Everything covered there.
Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's wrapped up, taken down.
Tried to throw it, and then
and that is the third sack.
the left tackle bumped into me when I was trying to throw it.
Yeah, that puts him on pace.
Probably a good thing, though, because it looked like it might have been picked.
To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense.
4 down, 4 down. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Devin Funches, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Wait! You're 18!
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he'll be taken down, but
got there in time for a tackle, but
across midfield.
not in time
He
for
got 29
play.
yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And Now a play fake here on first down. Drops it off for Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first and 10, here's Andy Dalton. That's caught over the middle by Seals Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna accept that.
So this will be accepted as he moves the offense backwards.
Lady, green 18.
On the run, it's Gray. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
I didn't scout the kicker this
Officially
time.
no
Damn.
gain on the play, and it's second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sewer Cravens coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
But no Texas starts to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Dalton. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Get him. No first
And they'll
down.
be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, sometimes that's what you dial. Oh, they get to the
And
football.
blocked.
It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Wanna play? Who was that? Steve
Now out
Austin?
comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it. Well, that pressure came right up the middle. Remember the good old days when they would scheme to make sure that they smacked the guy snapping the ball? And you know, he had his head down. He's kind of in a vulnerable spot. Rules prevent that now. So you have to go about it a little bit differently, but you can still get pressure there.
And almost always, when you see somebody get to the ball, it comes off the edge. They're able to sneak through the middle of the line. Hard to believe.
Yeah, cardinal rule broken, isn't it? Right up the middle. That's supposed to be a place you protect the most.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Try again.
The pitch goes to
Other
Barkley.
way.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
God, and you're supposed to be
Sometimes your
faster.
philosophies get challenged at times you don't want
Fullbacks,
them
I
to.
can
They did try to stick to
not
the
run
running
into you.
game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, check.
Back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
Oh,
And incomplete
Jakeem.
here on 3rd down.
In your hands.
Well, they went for the
There's
big
a
play
roll. The
there,
throw was
but
there.
that drop could really hurt their momentum.
To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser.
Oh, beautiful punt.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Like a
Atlanta
pitching
now
wedge in
coming
golf
out on the
terms.
field. Chubb. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this is recovered in
All right,
the end
touchdown.
zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field. That close to the goal line. The defense, they're looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a two-score swing that you just gave up.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
Bounds just shy of the first down marker.
Up to the 34 out of bounds there. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
Oh, I was going to say, if he caught that, that'd be amazing.
The contact. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now it's Peterson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Hey. 4 down. Lead.
Second down, Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. First and 10 for Dalton. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, let's try it. Get the Saquon and
The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Leopard!
The toss out to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
moving faster than getting up the other faster than his blockers
the
are.
road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And someone was
throw
caught
left
holding.
side complete. That's Grant. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Holding. Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Funches with a catch over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to go into the flag.
It took
I'm with
forever
you. There
to
was
fuck that one.
contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now,
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Sua Cravens coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So Dalton now. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Look at the spin.
Balance.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And here now the offense heading back out there.
I don't think it's going to
Crew had a punt last time they had the ball, but when you got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. 3rd down here.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's brought down.
Oh, just 1 yard shy.
Certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble, but all is well. 1st down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And it's caught. Touchdown.
This guy I want getting stats too.
And his guys are going to
add on to
their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They set up the screen to Chubb. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Hey, we got lady.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And again, it's Chubb. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 3rd down. Dalton, throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones.
Yeah.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, again.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continue to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? He completes it to Westbrook. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Yeah, I love it.
Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now at a 3rd and 6.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game. Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the
Saquon,
offensive
2,000
line,
yards.
they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll go to Barkley again. Spinning past him. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit. Because
and a big loss here as he's taken down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Dalton throwing on second down. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting...
And he's going to go down.
Another sack.
Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30.
Oof.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moment.
And that was bad, bro. Bad decision.
Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they will be set
face
up now
mask
as he
on,
brings this
quarterback.
thing all the way back inside the 20.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Oh, okay. I can take it.
So that one will be
Automatic
accepted.
1st down.
That works.
Dalton, 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Peterson. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
I hope they go for it.
Not only was the call spot on, How about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked
Not
up
the field
tight.
goal, that's not
He was
enough.
trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they take the
Myers
field
able to
goal.
knock it through.
With a minute left in
And
the
now they'll
game
just
to
need
break
4
the shutout.
touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Falcons set to get things rolling on
Makes me
defense
want to score
again
a
here.
touchdown more.
And not a good performance by them or by their offense, for that matter. It just hasn't been a good game.
And it's real easy at this point to point fingers. Hey, you guys didn't get a whole lot done today. Didn't give us much of a cushion. But the truth of the matter is, having played defense, your pride says,
It got his man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
it certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing, Dalton. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Lead.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And
Okay,
a big
Steve
loss
Austin.
here as he's taken down.
Zach, we got him. We got him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Dalton here from the gun. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Ryan Allen now. He's been terrific so far. This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Gun! Hey.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
Oh, shit.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's
Yeah, that's good.
incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for our visitors, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.
All right, then I'll do it until next game. Start my new job tomorrow. So it could be after work tomorrow. Actually, after work I got hockey. And then we might be calling early night. Yeah, who knows? Could be Friday after work. Till then, see y'all next time. Peace.